Hi, what's going on everybody? James here. Well, I think it's fair to say that it's been quite some time since I last did a video where I truly explained what was going on. What was going on, what was to come, etc, etc. Well, first off I want to say I apologise for the true lack of videos. Unfortunately, the HSC has required a lot of my attention, and unfortunately as a result of that I haven't been able to focus on my videos as much as I would have liked to. And then, as per the usual excuse, um, I haven't been, I'm still without editing software. At the moment, I am actually on a month-long free trial of Sony Vegas, which is actually concluding next week. So, go me. But again, I want to apologize on that front. Please don't despair, because I do actually have videos planned for the future. I actually have a couple of things planned. I have a ton of customs planned out. I actually have a couple of reviews that I want to do. Now, unfortunately, I haven't been getting many new Transformers lately. Most of what I've been buying has been Lego, and quite a few of the sets that I've gotten, I've probably just bought for the minifigures, and any other vehicles that came with it, I've just taken apart for spare parts. But you will be pleased to know that I do have a couple of things in store. The first of which is, now I've been doing a couple of custom Lego creations recently. The first is, and if you will bear with me, sorry about that. The first custom Lego creation is actually a mini Hulkbuster. Hopefully the camera focuses. Yeah. Now, sorry about that. I have to say, I'm actually really glad with how most of this has worked out. There is a ton of detail that I've been able to jam into this. However, the one thing to keep in mind is that is in no way complete. I am still working on a lot of it, especially specific colored parts. Like these will not be silver in the final version, these will actually be dark red, just like the armor. And that accounts for the feet as well, so be warned, or be prepared. But I have to say, I'm actually really glad with how this has worked out, especially given the fact that I'm able to store Iron Man minifigure inside of it, so that makes it all the better. And I have to say, I'm really glad with how this has worked out. Now, I do want to say that in no way is this 100% my creation. Like 95% of this has been based off of not of a very similar custom creation from a user on Flickr. Now, their design was pretty much the sole influence of this Hulkbuster. With my own, I've just made a couple of personal touches. One of which is in the arms, the chest plate, and a couple of other smaller pieces. But aside from that, their custom Hulkbuster was the key influence on mine, and as a result I've tried as best as I can to kind of recreate what they did. But one thing I am hoping to do is, now as we see in Avengers Age of Ultron, the Hulkbuster loses an arm and it then gets replaced with kind of like a jackhammer arm. And I essentially want to kind of build a mock version of that. So what I'm trying to do is, sorry, once I have this, once I've properly finished with the Hulkbuster, I'm pretty much going to try and recreate this arm. However, at the same time, I'm going to try and create it with the additional option, or with the additional feature that it'll slide up and down on on kind of like a sliding system, to recreate the jackhammer technique. So I'm actually really glad with how this has worked out. Other stuff, in terms of other custom stuff, includes a potential couple of Transformer customs. I haven't been able to do many given over the course of the last few months. However, I was able to get the showcase of my custom Predaking, Transformers Prime Predaking up, which was a commissioned custom for my friend Dreadwing 2029. For the record, he is an awesome guy, and links to his channel and the video in question will be in the description down below. And then one other thing I want to show is this. Many of you will remember the birthday haul video that I did. I actually showed off this drone. Now, I have to say, this is an absolutely incredible drone. Now, unfortunately, because it is so light, it makes it very difficult to get really good quality videos. But I have to say, like the one that you're seeing on screen at the moment, it is a really, really good drone. And the camera quality is actually pretty good. It's just a matter of the video being affected by the elements. So overall, I'm really happy with the quality of the drone, and I'm hoping to get a couple more videos and photos out of it in the future. Excuse me. Now over to the side here is actually the my Lego Marvel collection. Now I have to say, the number of minifigures that I've collected from this line over the past year is absolutely insane. In fact, not even the past year, probably the past 8 months. But I have to say, this is absolutely insane. Now, there are actually significantly less vehicles here than about a week ago, because I had 3 vehicles here and I took them apart for spare parts, but I just absolutely had to keep the Quinjet because it is so cool, as well as my Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. I'm really glad I kept this, but I'm really hoping to get the Milano at some point in the future. And of course we have the Avengers Tower in the back. Only got that quite recently, and I'm really happy with it. But of course we have all of the minifigures. Really happy with all of these. And one little thing is Black Widow's batons, as we see them. I actually custom painted those a while ago, solely because I really liked them in the movie and I just wanted to see how they would look in person. Unfortunately, it's not the best custom I've ever done, but or custom paint job I've ever done, but it does suffice for the moment. So I'm really glad with actually with how it turned out at the moment. Get down for it. One thing I've actually done since my last video is, or my last vlog, I suppose, is I've really rearranged the room solely to provide more space. And I have to say, it's really good how this is all worked out. I find that I get a lot more out of the desk instead of it being crammed up in the corner. And over here we have the unit, as always. So, you know, obviously we have the Transformers stuff, a couple of the Lego minifigures. I got this new storage unit quite recently, and I've been using it to store specific Lego pieces. I've seen a couple of users on YouTube display their custom collections, and I have to say, the way they do it is much better than this, but I'm just trying to familiarize myself with it. So we have that, my 2 Iron Man figures, couple of pieces of junk, more junk, and my custom painting stuff. So we have all that. And actually, one thing that I want to show is, moving out to the side, very recently I got an all-new headset with an adjustable microphone. Solely because the previous pair that I had them for about 4.5 years and they just died on me. So I got these new ones quite recently, and these do a fantastic job, so I'm really happy with them. So yeah, just set it back up. So yeah, that's all that I've been collecting of late, and all that I've done in the room. In terms of future videos, I don't really have any plans for stop motions at this exact moment, but whenever I do have a couple of ideas floating around and I really want to push forward with them, you as the audience will be the first to know. But I plan to do a couple of customs somewhere in the future. Not sure exactly what I'm going to do right at this moment, but I definitely know I'm going to do something. So be prepared for that. Reviews. Now, again, I don't have a lot of new figures to review, and most of the Lego sets that I'm buying nowadays, I'm mostly buying for spare parts. So there's no real point in reviewing those. But I've been going to see quite a few movies recently. In fact, we're only just back from the movies after having seen Ant-Man. And I'll say this is a fantastic movie. I was always very skeptical whenever Marvel announced that they were doing an Ant-Man movie, but at the very same time, I was very skeptical whenever they announced that they were doing a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and that movie turned out fantastic. So I was interested to see what they would do with Ant-Man. And I'll say this, it actually turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to be. There was a lot more humor. There was actually a lot of interesting scenes in the movie, especially whenever Ant-Man shrinks down. So overall, I thought it was a very, very good movie. A lot of it obviously ties into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, establishment of characters, further establishment of the story, and overall, it's just really, really cool. So now, obviously, I'm not gonna go into any in depth, details about the movie, obviously, because that would spoil it in a lot of ways. But I'll definitely say this: for the most part, it's probably not what you're expecting, whether that be positive or negative. For me, I thought it was very good. I found like because the main character Scott Lang, who is Ant Man, because he is a criminal, but then also a father, I actually find that quite relatable in the sense that even though he hasn't exactly fulfilled his role as being a good father for his daughter, he's still trying to find his place in the world. And I think that's quite understandable in a lot of ways. So overall, I was really, really happy with how the movie turned out. Honestly, I don't really have any major nitpicks about it. Only one thing. Whenever Ant Man shrinks down to the size of an ant, there are some very strange camera angles that go on, especially given his size. A lot of the camera movements are really sporadic, and they're very quick. As a result, I always find that was very difficult to I always found it difficult to maintain focus or kind of try and figure out what exactly was going on. But aside from that, I have very little issue with this movie. The CGI was fantastic. The characters were very good. The humor was actually pretty good as well. But I'll say this: Paul Rudd, who plays Ant Man, he's actually a comedian. But then what's really weird is he doesn't actually get a lot of the funniest lines in the movie. That actually goes to I think it's Michael Pena. I'm not sure if that's his surname exactly, but he's Scott's friend in the movie, and I have to say he's very funny in this. Maybe not necessarily as funny as I thought he was going to be, but he was certainly a lot quite funny in the movie. But overall, very little to complain about. I definitely think that now earlier in the year we got Avengers: Age of Ultron. Just obviously point that out. And I've been talking to a couple of friends at school, and a lot of them don't like Age of Ultron as much as they love the Avengers. And the thing is, I find that and this especially applies for Ant-Man, I find, is that whenever you're a comic book fan, and I think we all prefer origin stories over sequels, most of the time. Because with the first Avengers movie, this was the first time that these big heavyweight characters were coming together for the very first time, and we love that. Then whenever we go to see Avengers: Age of Ultron, we're really happy to see all these characters back together again. But at the same time, it's the second time that we've seen this. It's not as phenomenal as it was the first time around. And I think, now don't get me wrong, I don't hate Joss Whedon for that. I think he did a fantastic job with the movie, but the fact that it is a sequel doesn't necessarily work out to its utmost advantage. So unfortunately, the fact that it is a sequel doesn't work out as well as I think that they were hoping it would. But nonetheless, I still like Age of Ultron, but I definitely think that whenever it comes to Ant-Man, the fact that it's an origin story, and especially the fact that it ties in so well with the Marvel Cinematic Universe in general, I just think is fantastic. So yeah. No, actually, just while I remember about it, the headset that you saw earlier, this means now that I'll be able to do a lot more voices, and I'm actually hoping to, well, once my upcoming HSC trials are out of the way, I'm actually hoping to get back into voice acting. It's been a long time. Well, it's been a long time since I was in a really big or correction. It's been a long time since I properly auditioned for a role. And the thing is, there are a lot of really talented voice actors out there now. Orbital Bacon, my friend Jack the Animator, Shockwave 514, just to name a few. So I'm really excited to actually get back and try my voice at a couple of things. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. For the record, I apologize if this video hasn't exactly filled or answered as many questions as you may have as to what exactly I plan to do. Unfortunately, given my current situation, I am limited as to what I am able to do. But please don't despair. Videos are coming. At the moment, I just can't afford to waste my time with the videos whenever I have more important stuff to worry about. So there is that. Please don't worry. But for the most part, yeah, I think that's it. Don't really have a lot else to say. So yeah, but that's it for now. Well, first off, thanks for watching, everybody. Please subscribe for more videos. Like me on Facebook. Links will all be in the description down below. My name's James, and thanks for watching.